Welcome to the Firing Squad Podcast, where four guys talk about blazing hot topics that they discuss when no one else is around. No fluff, no bull. They tell it like it is. And now, here is the squad.
All right, we're back. This is a bonus pod because we're still carrying over our athletic debate.
Right. But no, I feel like if you played the sport at any particular point in your life and you are an athlete, I think we were just talking about Michael Jordan. The fact that he played it, but he didn't play it at the highest level. I feel like the only reason he didn't play it at the highest level is because he didn't put in as much time as those who are at the highest level put in. Had he have had that time and put in that time, he definitely would have been an all-star in Major League Baseball.
Well, that's what makes him an athlete, because think about it. So, like, people with not even the same amount of talent that he has in his pinky, there's people that was way better than him in baseball just because of it's a skill that you develop, right? And you think about it, the best who do it at baseball, like Hall of Famers, are like 30% of the time they're successful, right? 35% if they're really good.
Right.
That's what they do. Like, imagine if you only succeed at what you do 35% of the time, and that makes you the best to have done it.
Like ever.
Ever.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. There's certain sports like that where, and I think soccer is a prime one. Now the argument could be made because it truly troubles me, and I'm getting in a little bit more into soccer because I bought FIFA 17 on the PlayStation, so I'm trying to understand it a little bit more. But it pisses me off when I see the United States lose in international soccer matches, because I truly, firmly believe in my heart that we have the best athletes on earth. And if our best athletes played soccer, then we would dominate like we do everything else. But our best athletes don't play soccer. They're phenomenal soccer players, but they're just not the best compared to other countries where their best athletes play soccer. They don't play any other sport. Like, their best sport is soccer. So imagine if you had like Kobe Bryant's, Reggie Bush, Christian McCaffrey's, LeBron James. I don't know if can you be too tall to play soccer, but if we had our best athletes playing soccer at the age of 8 until now, like, we would never lose anything.
You would think.
Yeah, I would agree.
And the same thing with Jamaicans in track. I mean, like, when they see a phenomenal like athlete as a kid, they put them in track, and that's what they develop them as from a young age. And that's their goal. Their goal is to probably run for the Jamaican national team, just like our kids is to make it to the league.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
So I mean, it's just, I think it's a matter of, because we have so many options here in the United States. In other countries, it's almost like, it's not that they don't have options, but their options are a little more limited. Like, I don't see a lot of track compared to basketball in Jamaica. I would dare imagine, without knowing, I would imagine that track is the more popular outlet, the more popular sports outlet for kids.
Yeah.
Same with soccer in different countries such as Brazil or anywhere in
Latin America.
Yeah, anywhere in Latin America.
Europe, yeah.
I would imagine that's the sport of choice.
Yeah, that's what that's what their
kids
grow up idolizing.
I totally agree with you on that, Lance.
So another thing too, though, with soccer though in the United States is that it's too expensive to play. Not like Little League. I'm not talking about Ace of Soccer where you can sign your kid up. I'm talking about to be truly good, and baseball's the same way, which is why you don't see a lot of.
For the most part, all sports all sports for younger kids have been. I like to say they've been monetized,
but not like to the extent of those two, though. I mean, so, and here's the difference. So with baseball and soccer and basketball, and this is where you can see the difference. Baseball, soccer, and basketball. To be really good at it, you have to play year round, right? So you have to play AU ball if you really want to get noticed and to be really good at it. The difference with basketball is that you actually get sponsored and you don't have to come out of your pocket for it. But with soccer and baseball,
that's not necessarily true.
Do you think?
I say that's not necessarily true now, because a lot of that AAU system has definitely moved into basketball as well, and a lot of times they will beat you over the head for
not for them top athletes. Do you think for 1 minute that Derrick Rose or Harry Giles Jr. That's at Duke now had to pay to play for the AAU team? Absolutely not. They sponsored, and they get their coach come pick them up from wherever they are. They play in different cities. The difference is with soccer and baseball, to be good, you have to play in traveling teams year round, but your parents have to foot the bill for that.
No, that's not necessarily true either, because I know a kid now who's on age with my son, and he plays baseball. He's extremely good, and he hasn't really been paying for a lot because teams have been trying to recruit him now in 7th grade.
Does he play?
So that's not,
does he play AAU baseball?
Yes, he does play AAU baseball. But to your point, what I'm saying is a situation where I think, if I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds like you're saying that if you're the best of the best, you don't necessarily have to worry about that, which is true. That is true.
No, what I'm saying is soccer.
That is true.
If they made it easier, like in other third world countries, soccer is what they play. It's not all this crazy traveling and playing on AAU club teams and having to put up a lot of money to play the actual sport. That's what's keeping people from being more involved with it. Yeah, until they until they make it more affordable for the average parent. Because even our LB Lyles, Dave Jackson, he's got his two boys are really, really good in soccer, and one of them is on a team in Charlotte, and he lives in Columbia. He takes his boys to Charlotte like once a week to practice. Like, what average parent can do that? Even if their kid is exceptional. And then Skeezy was really good in soccer in high school, and he had the coach at USC straight up tell him like he doesn't even recruit high school soccer kids. They only recruit players who play AAU. So if you only play soccer, high school soccer, you're not even going to get looked at from a bigger school. So again, like AAU costs. Yeah, I mean, and that stuff costs. Baseball's the same way. I mean, those teams allows you keep up recruiting. When they say we got a new recruit, what's the first thing they usually say? They usually name the club team they play for.
Right.
It's not even the high school they rarely mention. Is like he played for the Hurricanes or the whatever club team they play for him. Saw him at a under-16 Wooden Bat League in Atlanta, and he picked up off. So I mean, they have to just make it more affordable for more kids to play. But it should be. There's no reason why our best athletes don't play soccer, and we dominate.
And it's not easy, and it's not easy to play pickup baseball. You need like 20 people. You need like 20 people to play a pickup baseball
Very
game.
true.
You can't just. You could go out and play 2-on-2 basketball, 3-on-3
one-on-one.
basketball. You don't.
Yeah.
You 1-on-1. Yeah, I can go out there and throw the ball up and hit it, but then I got to go out and outfield, get it, come back. That's way too much. Nah, it's too damn hard to play baseball naturally without playing it in an organized setting and within the organized setting.
A very good point. And then one of the questions that we didn't get, the one question that we didn't get to get to at the end of the last pot, it was asked, do you think that professional athletes should be your child's role model?
I would say it's okay to admire and to kind of want to copy maybe their work ethic and, maybe try to pattern your game after them or something to that extent. But role models, I would probably lean towards no, and I think that the person who asked the question also kind of echoed the same sentiments, is that you don't know them personally. So I think when you're talking about role model, you're talking about everything outside of just what you're seeing on TV, whether they're playing football or basketball or whatever. You're talking about the character that person has. And I mean, you could see stuff through, I guess if they're doing charity or, having charitable donations or doing things in the community, you can kind of see those things because the media and stuff will report a lot of that stuff. But I would err towards no, just because you don't really know them as a person. I think it's okay to kind of want to pattern your game after them or look at how, hard they work in the sport or things they do like that. But
well, okay. I got a different opinion. What do you think, Creek?
I would say no, but on the other hand, here I go with my butt, giving two answers. But we do want our athletes to strive to be role models, in a sense, because it does make it a little bit easier for little Johnny, who doesn't have the dad at home, who doesn't have a a male figure, anyone to look up to, it makes it easier for them to have something to hold on to. So I understand, no, and because we're fathers and we're clearly in our children's lives. So that's an easy answer for us. No, we don't want our role models to be athletes. We don't want our children to look up to these role models, to these athletes as role models, because we know and understand what they do off the field, what a lot of them do on and off the field, because no one's perfect. So they do get caught up, and it can be, misreported, or it can be reported in such a way that makes them look bad. But it would be nice.
Well, I think there's a difference, though.
Athletes try to be role models.
So I think there's a difference. There's some athletes that shouldn't be role models, and then it's your job as a parent to point out why that particular athlete is not someone you would want to look up to, even though they may do phenomenal things on the field. But off the field,
on court, yeah.
On court. If you know about their transgressions off the court or field, then they shouldn't be a role model. But there's plenty of people who do the right things, and maybe we don't even know what they do outside of whatever sport they're playing. But on the field, they do the right thing, and there's something that your kid could aspire to be. I would ask y'all, if y'all's kid said that Marcus Lattimore was their role model, would you seriously object to that? Or Tim Tebow, for that matter?
No, because
Russell Wilson.
I would say there are. I guess there are. I think it's a bonus if that athlete happens to be a really good person, and you're able to kind of see that through their acts and stuff like that. So, in that case, no, I wouldn't be objective. If my son said he looked up to Marcus Lattimore or Tim Tebow or whatnot, like, no, I wouldn't object to it. That's what I was going to say earlier too. It's not something that it's not something that really moves me either way. Honestly, I don't think it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's egregious if they do or don't. I think that there's a line that I kind of talked about earlier, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's something that is overly detrimental if they do.
Or what if your child? To me, what if your child is really good at something that you weren't? Like my child, if Knox, and I don't want my son to play football, but let's say he plays football and he's a beast receiver, and he looks up to Randy Moss, whoever the Randy Moss is during his time. I get the argument that his role model should be me and not an athlete, but damn, what can I do? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I think it's good motivation if they say, I want to aspire to be like this type person, and I know to get there I'm gonna have to work hard because this is the best person who's ever done it. So that means I got to really put in the work. I don't have an issue with that. Now, if it's like a knucklehead that's always doing something stupid, then that's my job as a parent to say, no, this is the reason why this is not someone you look up to, because they make bad decisions, they get in trouble, they do dumb things. So no, find somebody else, because it's natural. Everybody grew up with one.
But I think the other part of it is just making sure that you're identifying what you're using the word role model to mean. Are you just using it like role model, like Randy Moss is my favorite player, I look up to his work ethic, or am I looking at Randy Moss as a total person? He's my total straight up role model, like everything Randy Moss is doing.
Randy would have been a good one.
Kids and parents both sometimes get that confused. A kid can say, oh, he's my role model, but really what he's saying is, I want to be like him on the field, because that's all they see. Kids don't oftentimes, in this day of social media, they get, access and, invitation to see everything that goes on and off the field. But back in our day, I remember Charles Barkley actually had a campaign that he was saying, I'm not a role model, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was right around, might have been right before or after Barcelona when they went during the Dream Team era. But I think it's a situation to where you have to know what your child means by that, and making sure that it's known that, okay, if this is your role model, what do you mean by that? Understand that, okay, you're saying that because you want to play like him, you want to do the things on the court that he's doing. But off that, I'm your role model, so to speak.
Would you,
as far as being a man?
So would your feelings be hurt if your son if you're not your son's